almost to the end of our session this evening, but
Really?
you've brought some, yeah, but we've got some vinyl records that you brought. You did bring you brought a 4-track, which doesn't work.
It's a piece of crap.
He's got all these tapes. We
What can I
could have
say?
shown you songs as they were developed
Yeah.
prior to the new record. But we do have your turntable that you brought from home.
Yeah.
And some of your favorite records.
Right. Yeah. Well, I could play some for you. if you
Yeah,
like.
let's play some.
Well, in terms of like production and stuff like that, you know, I was talking about the fine line of ridiculous to good and where that starts and stops. And I think the band ELO sort of really rides that line in kind of the perfect way. Well, granted, sometimes erring on the side of excessive, but nevertheless, this particular song. Is anybody back in the sound booth? Yeah.
You have the album cover we can hold on.
Oh, yeah. ELO's greatest hits. Run out and buy it as soon as you can.
Which track is this?
Number 2, it's called Living Thing. I'm pretty sure it was on the Boogie Nights soundtrack as well.
It is. Yeah, it is. So, so
Just give it a minute to get started, you know, like the strings come in, you know, after like, I don't know if it was like 76 or so, they started having like a 30-piece orchestra for all their recording sessions and stuff like that. So like the string sections are like ludicrous, like how like busy they get and stuff like that, you know, and like, then there's like a million vocals going on at one time that it just sounds, well, in my opinion, pretty cool.
So big is better.
Until it gets too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is walking that fine line.
Well, I mean, there's dynamics going on here. There's quiet parts,
Right.
and then there's like the, you know, it's like, it can't be just like, whoa, you know, like an ocean of wah the whole time, because the ocean of wah gets boring. People get seasick on that. And so, I mean, there's like, you know, like, you gotta make a little bit of a journey, a musical journey. Sort of like songs that travel, you know, moments.
What's your favorite part about this song? Is there a particular moment or a thing about it that changes?
See, I mean,
The
it's
harmony
like,
changes.
yeah, there's like this, okay, well, sort of like one of those things that like some old dudes will say is like, if you're recording a song, there's got to be a moment, like every 5 seconds or 10 seconds. 10 seconds, I think, is technically the rule. But like, so every 10 seconds there has to be like a moment, you know? And so you would be hard pressed to listen to any of these songs and like not find like a moment every 10 seconds. Probably more often, you know, like.
And a moment is just like kind of a convergence of
Like a hook,
The hook.
or like
Rhythmic.
Yeah, just like a sound, or just I mean, the song structures are all really good and stuff. Like, I mean, they border on maybe slightly too repetitive sometimes, like the 15 chorus ending or whatever. Like, but backing vocals that pop in every once in a while, and the big like lush sort of like oohs ahs and stuff like that. Strings. Cascading strings even, you know, it's like, come on, give me a break. Who writes this stuff? You know, like, just imagine a dude like writing in like each little note. It's like, I don't ever do that. That'd be a pain in the ass.
So are you saying that we could, you know, once the budget is there, we can expect that on a future Vicious
Oh, yeah.
Vicious record
Oh,
there
yeah.
might be a 30-piece orchestra?
I think I was just gonna buy like the London Philharmonic Orchestra, you know, after I get, you know, a couple more years, I'll be retired and stuff like that. And I'll probably buy a few, you know, so we've got one when we're overseas. I have one in the States, you know, one for Canada.
What else you got there in your record collection?
Well, along those same lines, probably, like along in terms of production, you know, like I was saying before that when I listen to music, a lot of times it's for purposes of just kind of like relaxation and sort of decompressing or so. But along the lines of production, like something that I kind of like listen to is sort of a kind of like a goal would be not the whole record necessarily, but a couple of these tracks off this Tears for Fears record are pretty rad.
Now, did
like,
you have this record back when it came out, like or were you
No, I
hip
was
to
a
these
big
guys
fan,
back
but I
then?
never actually went out and found the record. What is it?
86,
85.
85.
Yeah. This would have been when I was probably wallowing in the murky waters of Chicago and Huey Lewis and the News.
And what is it about this? Do you listen to this stuff currently and get a thrill out of it, or is it something that's more a retro?
It's one of those special moments, like at a party maybe or something like that. It's like I started at the beginning and actually it gets really good towards the end, but it's again, it's like they're big on the moments and stuff. Honestly, not quite as cool as ELO. Probably should have reversed the order in which I played them for you. So sorry, but either way, still a cool song.
Is there something about these guys that Tears for Fears in this record that was particularly?
I mean, yeah, right? So you heard it, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Good chorus, it's like it builds up to the chorus and then it gets there and you're like, wow, that was cool. And then sort of like the weird sort of outro, like out of the chorus, and then into the big weird synth solo. I've never been a big fan of that weird synth solo, but I've heard weirder weird synth solos than this one.
What else you got?
You want to hear more?
Yeah.
All right.
And then we're gonna have open up to questions from you guys, so you can start having your questions ready. We'll just ask. I'll just call on people.
But anyway, so this is sorry to so deftly dodge that question, but this is Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" record. In terms of like soul R&B music, probably the it was produced by, if I'm not mistaken, Quincy Jones. Oh, it says Marvin Gaye. He was like, F Quincy Jones. I'm taking all the credit for this. But like this is like, I think to my knowledge, the only record where he wasn't really wound up in the "I want to sex you up" or like that whole like sexy vibe thing going. And this is more of just kind of like the social commentary on sort of like black culture and stuff like that in the early '70s and things. But it's just like the whole album kind of like has almost sort of a similar vibe, kind of like it was like in that sense sort of like a precursor to like a lot of hip hop records, like a lot of people say, because it's like it kind of rides the same vibe, but like the variations are so like kind of like small and
it's kind of a continuous track. I mean, all the tracks run into each other and they kind of themes come back and
right, which makes it like one of the perfect albums. It's like because it's rare that you can do that, like revisit certain things over the course of an album and like have it be like, oh, like actually like cathartic to a listener besides the artist himself, which is usually just like really self-indulgent. But so like for the album to like just travel so seamlessly, like for the for both sides, I don't have it on CD, so I couldn't say if like the middle tracks go together very nicely or not, but like the first side just rolls. It's just like smooth and just like groovy.
Is there anything about the instrumentation that you particularly love on this stuff?
Well, there's xylophone in it, so that's always a plus. Can't go wrong with xylophones. I mean, yeah, like it just sounds so nice, I mean, like it would be easy for me to just like really methodically point out like, well, there's a string section and the backing vocals are spot on, or whatever. But it's just like it's one of those cases where everything comes together and it sounds beautiful because just like in and of itself, it's really pretty and like heartfelt, at the same time. It's like there's like not a trace of like ingenuineness. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. It's not at all contrived sounding or anything like that. It's like a passionate like lead vocal part, and then just like obviously like really brilliant session players playing like the rhythm section and stuff like that. Congas.
There's some congas on one of the new Vicious tracks, right? And, as I recall, we tried playing it without that in the song live, and
it just
there was
wasn't
something
any good.
was missing.
No. If you put congas on a song, you have to have the congas, or else you're just going to be just leave you feeling empty.